Okay, welcome back. I'm going to show you the way to do odd count peyote. Now, this is not as common, and most patterns will not be made with odd count, but some people do use it, and it is a fun stitch to do if you know how to do it. I'm going to show you two different ways to do it. The first way is with 2 needles, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to pick up whatever colors you want. You're going to pick up one of each. Okay, and then you're going to pick up a single bead and go through both needles. Now, if you are doing a pattern, you're going to do the pattern basically the exact same start as your even count. Okay, now pick up 2, so you can refer back to the other video if you need to. Pick up 1. And we're just going to do stripes so that you can easily see what I'm doing on this one. Okay, red, white. Pick up 2, 1 on each. Blue, we're going to go through. And so this is just going to be a basic stripe so that you get the technique down. If you're doing a pattern, you're going to lay it out just as if, red, white, blue, red. Sorry. Just as if you were before. So, we're going to end it there. All right. Now, if we pull these all tight and line them up, because as anybody that does stitching knows, beads do not usually cooperate, you will see that we have a little bit of a stripe going here. Red, white, blue, red, white, blue, red. Okay, now here's what you're going to do. You're going to pick up 1 needle. Now, whichever one you pick up, oh, I am so sorry, I bumped that. Whichever one you pick up, turn your work so that that thread is on what we would consider the bottom bead, on a bottom. Okay, so my thread's coming out of this one. You're going to take the needle and you're going to go through the other bead. So it would be the top bead. So it looks like that. Now the process going across is going to be the same as with regular peyote. You're going to fill the down and go through the up. And again, I'm not doing an angle, I'm just doing straight stripes. So I'm going to fill it down, go through the up, fill it down, go through the up till I get to the end. Now, once I'm on the end, okay, I'm going to turn my work over and go back again. So I'm going to fill in the down and go through the up, fill in the down, and I'm just following the bead that's below. That whatever the down color is what I'm picking up. Okay, so we've got to the end now. Okay, I'm going to tighten this up so you can see it before we go to the next spot. Okay, so you see, ow, you see that I'm on the end. I'm going to go ahead and pick up that bead. Now, here comes I'm going to put it down so you can see what happens. I'm going to pick up this bead and I'm trying to lay it out so you guys can see here. Okay, so this is the thread that I was using. This is the other thread that I had sitting there, the other needle. We're now going to pick this up and we're going to set the thread we were using aside and pick up the other thread and go back through that and go across. And what this does is it uses the 2 threads to lock in that edge one. And what happens is by doing this, you do not have to make the right angle turn. Okay? And a lot of people have a problem making that turn for 2 reasons. One, a lot of people don't get it. And the other is that a lot of people make it so tight that it curves their work really bad. Now, I will tell you that it takes a little bit of getting used to. I have quite a system going, but it's not the system I can use for the videos. But when I do it on my own on my bead tray, I do have a little bit of a system where I take the spare needle and I stick it over in a piece of leather so it's out of my way for working. Okay, so we're filling in the downs, going through the ups. Now I've come back to this end. Okay, I'm going to show you this one more time, and then I'll show you the other way to do it with the turn. So this is my current thread. I'm going to set this one aside and pick up the other needle. Go through it. And it locks that edge in. And keep going across. Okay? So you can see what's happening. If you are doing a pattern that has like arrows in it or things like that where you have to come to a point, this is a really good stitch to use because you're even. You have an even amount of, even though it's called odd. And the reason it's called, let me tell you why it's called odd stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So there's 4 ups and 3 down. Okay, so this is an odd stitch because each row has a different number. In an even count stitch, every row would have 4, or every row would have 8 or 10 or whatever it is. Okay, but with an odd count, one row will have one more. So this is 4, this one's 3. And that's always going to be the case. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to do the turn. We're just going to ignore that other thread there. And some people like to start their project with the 2 needles, and then once they get into the project, they switch over to just the single needle. Okay, so I've gone to that end. I'm going to flip my work and go back to the other end. Again, I'm just using whatever the color is below is what I'm using. This is not an advanced stitch, but for a lot of beaders, this is considered an advanced stitch just because it makes it so difficult to deal with. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to add, I'm trying to get this lined up so you can see, there we go. I'm going to add the bead just like we would before, but now we're only using 1 thread. So I'm going to take this bead and it will sit right where it's supposed to, but I need to lock it in. I can't go up and add because this is an up. I can't do it, fill in a down. So I'm going to go 1 below it. One below that. Okay. Now I'm going to go up 1 and go back the opposite direction. And I'm going to go down 1. And what I've effectively done is change the direction of the needle. So now I'm coming back this direction. And so now I can fill in the down and go through the up. See how I did that? Fill in the down, go through the up all the way across, just like we were before. When we get to the other end, it's going to be a down end, so we have to go back. And that is one thing about doing it this way. You will always make your turns on the same side, unless you decide that, you know, it's a pattern you're designing yourself or something, and you can just go to the other side to start pulling it on the other side. That, you know, that's your option. But if you're doing a pattern or anything, you'll always have your turns on one side. So you have to be very careful not to pull your tension too tight, or you'll get a tight curve, and a slight curve wherever your turn side is. Okay, I'm going to do the turn one more time for you. Okay, we're adding the bead. Now, go back in 1 below. Go back in 1 below. Turn it and go 1 up. Go one down. And you're now facing the right direction. I'm catching on everything on the edge. Okay? If you have any questions with this one, go ahead and let me know, because this is one of the more difficult stitches. If you don't get it in your head, you know, if you don't visualize it right away, then it's a little more of a difficult stitch. Okay? So I believe I still have one more, and that is going to be flat herringbone. I'll see you then.